Welcome back, ladies and gents, to episode 51 now. There's calmness, there is relaxation a little bit.
Yeah.
It's an more empty couch now, a bit more space, but me and Nathan are back for the midweek podcast. And we keep saying this, but this week could be even better than last week because we have a lot to talk about. We've got therapy sessions, we've got forfeits being avoided, we've got a massive top four races, we've got everything.
Yeah, it's good episode.
Thank God for that because it keeps coming better and better each week, and you guys keep supporting it. So please keep watching, liking, all those good stuff. But let's get straight into it. Let's cut the crap a bit. Let's, I guess, rip the Band-Aid off a little bit as well. We sort of didn't discuss much about Liverpool United on the Monday pod, but it's a big day for me and a tougher day for you in terms of... But I guess we can start by saying, for the neutral, I guess, it's hard to be the neutral in this situation, but for the neutrals, they've got probably the best FA Cup game we've had in
a long
since
time.
we played 3 years ago when it was that 3-2 game.
Probably,
I can start with you because then I'll follow up. But for Liverpool, how do you see things? Were you a fan of Klopp's substitutions? Do you agree with the report about the tired legs? How do you see all of that?
Probably every wrong decision that Klopp could have made and the team on the pitch could have made just happened, just went wrong. Like everything. The subs were just a bit strange. I understood the Szoboszlai one for Elliot. Elliot brings a bit of energy, even though Szoboszlai I thought was playing pretty well. But I mean, you're telling me Robertson and Salah couldn't go for another 15, even just another 10, because it gets to the 85th minute and then just make a couple of subs then.
Yeah.
But you got to credit United. Our starting 11 was probably the best starting 11 we've had in a long time, considering the injuries. But I'd say for about probably 70 minutes of that 120, United were the better side. I just think from about the 35th minute to about the 85th minute when Anthony scored, Liverpool just had so much control of the game. And, a lot of Liverpool fans are saying, how the hell did we lose that game? Even though for large portions United were the better side. But just that 50-minute period, we had so many... Not 1v1s, but I'd say 3v2s on the counter or 4v3s, and we just stuffed it up every time. And it was just such a disappointing way to go out. If we would have lost that game, maybe you're just one of those you don't play well. But the fact that we played, I thought, so well for that 50-minute period, and just couldn't capitalise, and we got way too comfortable. But you got to credit United, credit Ten Hag. He made good subs. Finally Diallo came on.
Yeah, finally. We've been asking how many weeks.
I know. But, just very disappointing, So.
It could have been 4-1, 3-1 at least. I think coming out of half-time as well, it was one had to go in. You just thought, when is it going to happen? And then you sort of ride it out a bit. And then the game sort of still was on your terms, but it felt like I think that's a good way to put it. You sort of just took your foot off the accelerator a little bit, just sort of
because we were in so much control. We just sort of went, well, we're not scoring these chances, but we're not going to concede. We had that sort of mentality. And it was a stupid mentality to have. And I said to Mitch while I was texting during the game, I was like, we've got so much control of the ball, but why are we so open on the counter? Yeah. Endo was just left by himself, and McAllister and Szoboszlai, as good as they were, I don't know if this was a coaching thing or if they were just caught too high up. Yeah. They were practically playing as 210s, it felt like at times, because of how just open we were at the back. And you just felt I had just a bad feeling the whole game. Despite how comfortable we were on the ball, if we lose the ball here, we're in deep shit. And it just felt like a goal was coming if we weren't going to take one of ours. So, it was disappointing, but credit United, they came out of the blocks and probably should have been 2 ahead before we even scored ours. It was
a strange game. In terms of United's point of view, this is, for me, because I'm still someone who's backing Ten Hag. I think Ten Hag can get the best out of this team. It was good to see that because, like Antonio probably rightly or closely said, I guess, if Ten Hag ends this season not in the top 5 and without a trophy, I think that's the door, unfortunately.
You think he'll go?
I think that's the way the club's going to be working. I don't think Radcliffe's is really a Ten Hag backer. But I just thought it's massive for him to get this because then you get, obviously, we'll talk about the next team in a minute, but you get a nice draw with Coventry in the next round as well. And as much as City are going to be the favourites throughout, you never know, especially with the...
Exactly, it's a one-off game.
Exactly. And with what's happened, here, this was so much confidence building, belief building. especially with some of these players, the likes of Rashford, and you've got other players along the back line there as well, like the Maguires, who are slowly coming into that confidence. But I think are such confidence players. Like, this the result you needed, right? And like fair play to Ten Hag, because it did work. Like you said, he had Eriksen, Bruno, and Dalot, I think basically as a back three to end off the game.
Much,
Maguire was just like
playing as a striker,
a floating like a Vegas 2.0 like last year. It was just get the ball long to him, he'll head the ball down and then, attack from there. And then Anthony as well, like obviously he deserves the criticism he's got, but gee, that meant a lot of his right foot as well to score. It just seemed like everything that could have gone right in terms of our mentality went right in that game. He had Wan-Bissaka come back, he had Højlund come back, Mount came back. It just felt like one of those like, am I dreaming type moments of like, this is also coming together again. So if there's any way to rectify a season, I guess it's going to be through the cups. And I feel like since Ten Hag started, it's been he's cup oriented. He wants to win things. He's not, he took the Carabao Cup very seriously. He's taken the FA Cup seriously back to back. He's gone to Wembley now twice in 2 years. So as much people can have a go at him for his leg form, which is, I guess, is warranted. We haven't performed this season. You can't have a go at what he does in cups. He's taken us to 2 cup finals in a semi now. Champions League didn't go as wanted, but if you get some fit players back and maybe build a bit more next season, you just never know. But I think, wow, what a game.
Oh, it was a great game for a neutral. I mean, horrible game for me.
Disaster.
But for United fans and a neutral, that would have been a great watch. And
it just felt like a cup final. It did.
Yeah, it was a mental game.
Yeah. But, crazy.
United deserved the win. As good as Liverpool were in large parts for that 50-minute period, it was just, United dominated. And I don't know if it was just the amount of games we've played. We just looked. Yeah. I mean, I don't blame guys like Endo and Van Dijk for looking just knackered. A bit, but that's no excuse. We had the game on our terms and we let it go. So.
Yeah, just like the subs are a bit questionable. I think Ten Hag his subs. Klopp. If you keep Salah on, you never know when it goes end to end, because it became just a ping pong battle at the end.
The Robertson one just stunned me. Like, I thought he was playing well. Gomez started off the game very shaky.
Yeah,
grew into it a bit, but I think even the commentator said when Robertson got subbed off, he looked a bit like shocked and a bit like
Diaz wasn't happy being subbed either.
Yeah, I mean,
he wasn't great,
but he has to admit he's knackered at the minute. So the international breaks come at a very good time.
Yeah, to reset, I guess,
It's pretty much like everything. Liverpool did everything wrong the last sort of 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And Ten Hag and Man United did everything perfectly.
That's in it with it. I just want to touch on it as well. Like, there's been criticism coming out about how Ten Hag's pushed his players too much, and that's why there's so much injuries. But I think you saw the effect of that on the weekend. Exactly. I know a combination of you guys being in every comp as well, but that last half an hour and extra time there, outside of maybe 5-10 minutes where you guys scored the goal and had the pressure, like United were up and back, and the likes of McTominay's and the Brunos, they were just bang all the way around the pitch. That was, I guess, fulfilling to see that as well. So
shout out Kobbie Mainoo as well. Second half he was a bit quiet because I think Ten Hag moved him a bit deeper.
You got him one out almost as the holder.
But first half he was, along with
the first 20 seconds,
along with McAllister, probably easily best on ground. He was.
That's the thing. I don't think there was many bad players at either side. Like, I don't think you can pinpoint any stinkers in either side.
You could maybe say a couple of players, maybe from both teams, that struggled in like maybe a 10-15 minute spell. Gomez, I think, struggled for a little bit. I think Nunes at the start struggled a little bit. And then
McTominay struggles, but he gets a goal.
Exactly,
so
gets a goal. Adds up in the end. But it was just one of those. It's a huge result.
Whoever wins it was United. Just going to be
exactly
the winner of the game.
The fallout for the loser was always going to be big.
It's two big teams.
Exactly.
The club end of the farewell tour.
And
in many regards could be Ten Hag's farewell tour if he hadn't got the win as well. So it always felt like it was going to be massive. Ten Hag came with the suit. That's when it was big business. When he came with the tights.
I know.
He came with the blazer on. So I was like, this is a big game.
Yeah.
Just touching on Kobbie Mainoo, I think we waffled a little bit too long, but got the England corner up basically this morning. He was at the 21s and got asked to basically come to the big boys. We finally got over. I think all of the world got their wish in terms of like, why is he not in this squad now?
Southgate actually changed his ways. So.
Someone's had a gun to his head.
Probably, yeah.
Because he's in there now. Now you think surely you go with that sort of Mainoo, Rice, double
with Bellingham.
I mean, and allow May to push on and Rice to push on.
You'd think so, but
Or does Hendo still walk in
Southgate.
there?
I just think, as good as Manu's been, I just think, the Euros is coming up soon. He'll sort of go with who he trusts. It's not right.
Yeah.
Manu should be starting. He's been probably one of the best midfielders in the league ever since he started playing.
Yeah.
So, look, he should be playing based on now, but it's Southgate. I mean, he could end up at United, so he might want to play.
No, yeah, God. Do you imagine he comes in? Oh, no, let's not do that.
We'll save that for the transfer.
That'll be my crisis episode. That'll be my tears. Actually, I might let him show up.
I think you just do an episode by yourself, just like what.
It might just be a solo episode. It would just be a lot of silence, just like.
Yeah, I think we've stuffed up with this.
Yeah, we've got something wrong here.
Yeah.
But yeah, massive game for us. Huge game for United fans, and I guess for an FA Cup game, as I said, one of the best we've had in years.
Yep.
The other one that was almost equal to it, not in the same, I guess, magnitude, but still in terms of the entertainment, was Coventry and Wolves. Coventry, march on now, and a team that we sort of touched on a little bit in terms of when we talk about the championship stuff. They're around the place. They've been around the place now for a few years in terms of coming up, but never quite had the next level. And we know Wolves are a bit undermanned at the moment. We get that. But
a little bit, yeah.
To go to Wolves, who, Man City
Tough
couldn't
place
do
to
it.
go.
United struggled.
Yeah.
I know you guys were struggling to get that first goal.
We struggled for 80 minutes.
Yeah. Like, the big boys haven't found it easy there. Coventry have gone there and played them off the park, basically, for minute one. Like, Wolves probably, with their goals, and that sort of like 65 to 80 minutes, sort of had the game on their side, but still never really took control in Coventry. Well,
they missed a couple of big chances. Like, I think it was an open goal they missed.
And Jose Sa had the game of his life as well, I think, in terms of saves.
It's unreal for Coventry.
It was the 97th minute with Sims and then O'Hare in the 100th minute, 10th minute at a time.
Yeah.
Like, when you're 2-1 down.
How good was the FA Cup from a neutral? It was good, wasn't it?
If you're just a casual fan, just sitting there and watching it, you'd be like, wow, this is what all the talk about the FA Cup's always about. Because the last few years it sort of hasn't lived up to the whole magic of the cup stuff. But if we got City knocked out, that'd be that would be the only thing that would be left to tick some bingo boxes. But what a result! And Sims has come out and been a bit of a smart ass and said in the week, they got the best of the draw because they got United and not City or Chelsea. And I was like, fair play, let's see what happens.
I mean, they should back themselves. Why not? But I think if you were them, you'd kind of want Chelsea, especially how much they've struggled against championship sides. But look, they'll back themselves. They'll, why not? They're going to Wembley. They'll be up for it.
There's always magic at Wembley as well.
I think if United get the first goal, I think if they start well, United. I think it'll be just a bit of an uphill battle for them. But I mean, that's massively disappointing for Wolves. I mean, they deserved it, but based on the game, they didn't.
On the game, they didn't. Yeah,
season
absolutely.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just a disappointment how just bad they were. Just defensively,
just control. Defensively, were poor.
Yeah.
And that can't be an excuse for Neto not being there. It was a midfield and defensive areas where they struggled. So I know there's sort of problems back there in terms of injuries and players out, but you think Coventry, like at home, you should be able to get it done. Should still
be enough.
Yeah.
But they've had moments this season without Neto, and they've looked
fine.
So they'll I think they'll be on the beach a little bit. From
you said that. Yeah. I think that's a good call.
Unfortunately.
So the two Aussie matchups are United and Coventry, and then also Chelsea and City. City got past Newcastle quite easily, just sort of cruised it. And Chelsea, there was chaos there in terms of Sterling having a stinker, getting booed off the pitch.
He was dreadful. I'm guessing you saw his free kick.
Yeah, that went flying. Missed the penalty. Took it off Cole Palmer as well.
It's landed nicely here.
I think there's the ball,
is
that? There it is. There it is. Look at that. And I think there was Chance against Pochettino saying he doesn't know what he's doing when he dragged off Mudryk and stuff like that as well.
Like,
it's
Chelsea
getting
fans,
just
I watched the last, I think, 15 minutes of it.
Yeah.
Because I saw Chelsea went 2-0 up and I was like, And I saw Disasi's own goal and I was like, I'll tune into this. And then Mavrodidi scored a worldie.
Great goal.
And then, when Mudryk got subbed off, I mean, it was toxic. It was really bad, And then I think Sterling got subbed off 5 minutes later.
Fans clapping.
So,
Such a weird club,
I
Chelsea.
mean, it's just weird. Like, they made a Carabao Cup final. They're in the FA Cup semi-final. But it's just, I don't know. It's just,
Doesn't feel right.
It's just a very toxic environment at the minute. You know.
Never seen fans turn on, like, the club / or manager club / players like this much when they're not. I know it's bad, but we sort of come to expect a little bit with Chelsea with what they've got at the moment. So
A little bit.
maybe the fans are sick of it, or maybe like surely coming to games that you sort of expect this sort of thing now because it's been like a year and a half of it. When we think it, well, maybe a year, maybe I'm being too generous, but like I don't know, like I still think Poch has done the best he can possibly do with it. Like this,
that's why
misfit bunch.
Yeah, I don't think. I think from Chelsea fans, he's obviously under pressure because of their recent sort of history. They expect instant success.
Yeah,
but he's taken them to a cup final, which they could have easily won that game.
Yeah,
they're in an FA Cup semi. Are they going to win? It's going to be very hard. But they have, they have caused City a couple of problems.
Yeah,
especially they've gotten 2 draws
this season. Yeah,
they'll back themselves. It's just a weird one. It's hard to explain what's going on.
This is the David Moyes equivalent with Poch as well. Fans are not a fan of him, but
from the outside, you're like, okay, yeah, there've been some bad performances, but a cup semi-final and a cup final,
going to Wembley twice in a year, you take that.
So, yeah, I think they just got to
give him a little bit more time.
Give a little bit more time, yeah. Give him the summer and see how he starts off next season.
I first don't sign another 10 players if they just
FFP. They doubt they'll be able to.
So. It can't anymore. I
think Gallagher looks like he might be sold. Which he's probably the best.
Who would have thought we'd be saying he'd be their best midfielder come the start of the season?
Mental, isn't it?
I thought they should have shipped him off the start of the season, but he's proven to be consistent.
I mean, they might have to sell him for they're looking at like 60, 70,
60
80.
million. Well, wow.
I think so, yeah. Tottenham would. I think so, yeah.
I think it'd be a good time for 50 million. I'm not sure about 60.
But I mean, that's what I've.
If he can push it, his form probably, in a way, I guess dictates that. But he's not a 60 million player.
Oh yeah. I mean, the market's just ridiculous. So,
crisis stage at the moment into the market.
Yeah.
So there we go. There your FA Cup semis, which are now a mile. I don't get how they were structured, because now they're like a mile away before the semis. I'm pretty sure a good month.
Towards the end of the FA Cup's like the last game, isn't it?
Something like that. Yeah, the FA Cup finals the last game. The semi-finals are basically a few weeks before that. So same with the Champions League. It goes missing for a bit. So a bit more league football to worry about. We'll quickly jump to Germany and to our favourite team, Leverkusen, quickly before we jump into our list this week. There's been some drama this week in terms of Leverkusen. They have those fans need to have a heart check because there's been some heart attacks. There's been some close calls. Let's start with the Europa League. So when the video came up, I think it was that night that they'd won against Karabag with being down 2-0 in the 70th minute. They were actually 10 men, and Jorginho scored a goal. They wish they had Jorginho. But then all of a sudden, the game just flipped on its head. Not ironically, the first goal comes from Jeremy Frimpong from Grimaldo's ball from the left. Surprise.
Surprise shot. We haven't seen that one before.
Yeah, no. Who would have thought, Those two linking up for the first goal. Gee, what a finish from Frimpong. Like, it's to take it out the air after it's gone through all the defenders and just calmly place it off the post.
Yep.
Fair play. And they kept pushing, they couldn't break through. And then it was Schick again. He's, I think, done it 2 or 3 times come up in stoppage time for important goals.
He's been big lately.
3rd minute of the 6 minutes of added time, he slid in once again to get on the end of a Grimaldo cross. And then his second one would have caught, and Jacques sort of floated a weird shot / cross. I don't know what he was doing there, but then Schick nodded that one home as well in the 7th minute of stoppage time. So once again, over stoppage time again. Fans to relax at home. Yeah. But yeah, there you go. Patrick Schick double in added time to get them over the line in Europa League to keep the streak alive. And then they go and put up a solid enough performance versus Freiburg. 3-2 win there. They had a bit of a worrying moment when Freiburg scored in the 70-odd minute, but they held out in the end. So 2 get over the line type performances, but that just sort of summarise their season.
They haven't been as convincing as they were at the start.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's, they're getting they're playing a lot of games at the minute. So, but they're in all the competitions. Like, they're in the semis
as well.
The Pokal. Obviously, Europa League, they got West Ham, which will be I think a very interesting tie. And then obviously in the league, looks like they're going to win it. I mean, it'd be
10
a
points, 9
shock,
games.
a disaster if they didn't win it, to be honest. They're starting to concede a lot more goals, a little bit more chances, a couple more goals. But their foreline, their system is just stacking up at the minute. Doesn't matter how many they concede or what's happening. So fair play to them. I think the record's like 43 by Juve, I think it is. And they're on 38. Yeah.
So a few games away.
I mean, I don't know their next couple of fixes, if they're hard or not.
Let's have a squeeze
here. It doesn't matter who they got. They could play Bayern in their next few and you'd
back them in,
back them in, wouldn't you? So it's gonna be interesting for them.
It just seems they just know how they've got to the rhythm of winning. It's like, it's like when you start running, when you're in the rhythm, you just sort of keep, and they just keep going.
Just this wave of momentum that's just getting stronger and
bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So Hoffenheim at home, Dusseldorf in the Pokal at home, Union Berlin away, West Ham at home, Werder Bremen at home, and then West Ham away. So they might break the record.
Good amount of home games
at London.
So.
Yeah.
Is West Ham their first leg at home?
It's at home.
Okay.
So I think the away leg then could turn out to be the record break.
I wonder if they have like a decent buffer over West Ham. I wonder how seriously they take that. Like, do we go all out?
Surely you go for the record.
Yeah.
Because everyone will be like talking about it.
Even if you draw. Like,
you just see the result.
Just do a David Moyes on David Moyes.
David, in a reverse, David Moyes, just park it back, 5 behind it, chuck 2 in front, just 7 behind it. Oh, it'd be, and they deserve it. Absolutely deserve it. And I think
the way they're playing, they don't look like sort of losing. Drawing maybe.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah,
we're talking about losing. They don't.
When they draw as well, it's not like they scrape a draw. They normally miss out on a win, and when they win, they could have drawn, but they get the win. They always seem to find a way to.
It's never. Oh, we could have lost that. It's like
no,
we won. Yeah. Oh, we could have. Maybe we could have drawn that, but we got a result.
They always warrant the result.
Exactly.
And that's the biggest sign of a good team, like cities, like the Real Madrids. You never count them out, and then when they're not playing their best, they still get something from it. Because that Freiburg game, it's a danger game, right? Because you're away from home, you've come off the Thursday game, we have to play 102 minutes, and they've gone in and produced something like that where they went in early, they got the job done early, and ground out the result.
Yep.
And I think Xabi Alonso definitely deserves the record in terms of adding something to his accolades because we've been big on it since I guess the start of this midweek show that these teams that play the progressive way, push on, create things. I've been big on Liverpool since like the start of the season in terms of I think that's the way you got to beat teams now. As much as you can sit in for those middle teams, they can get you so far, but it's not going to get you championships. It's not going to get you to beat the big Bayerns or or boss the league.
Yep.
I think for that mantra, that mentality in world football, I'd love to see them stay unbeaten as long as possible and do it. They could get a treble, man.
They easily could. I mean, the league.
Leagues are
is close,
2 hands and a few fingertips
pretty much,
away.
The Pokal, the
There's
best team by a mile. There's no one. I think
they're versing Dusseldorf probably is the second best team. They're versing them.
Is Mönchengladbach's the only Bundesliga side, I think, or have they already played?
Let's have a quick squeeze. Yeah, no, they got knocked out.
Yeah, they got knocked out. Yeah.
So it's Saarbrücken and FCK.
Yeah.
2 second division sides. I'm pretty sure, versus Leverkusen and Dusseldorf, the second division.
I thought Mönchengladbach got knocked out. Yeah, because I saw that on Insta.
It's literally there for them to win that.
Yeah.
The league's there for them to win that. And then if you beat West Ham, other than for Liverpool...
Then they'll play Roma or Milan, which still isn't easy.
It's not easy, but I think...
Liverpool got the better side of the draw,
thankfully.
But you'd back them, especially Roma, they're a sneaky shout, I reckon. Especially the way they're playing. Milan are just inconsistent. You don't know what you're going to get. But,
I think West Ham might be their toughest test until Liverpool. I don't know if that just sounds like English bias or not, but
if they get to the final, they probably deserve to win it based on who
they've
played. Yeah. I know Karabag's easy, but you have to go through West Ham, who have already won a European trophy, have ridiculous players in their team, and then you got to go to Milan or Roma. I think that's going to be...
They'll be tough as well. They'll
back themselves. So
they are flying at the moment, and they can probably just focus purely on Europa League if
even the league, the cup, they're in the semi, but they can rest players.
Can rest players in a cup semi. You would have thought that.
If you need to, just bring them on like they did in the Europa League.
Get the Nathan Tells of the world out there. Get the Palacioses and all these guys that don't get much chance. But watch a result for them. What are 2 results for them? And like you're right, you said, a few games away here from a bit of history. Forget the Arsenal Invincibles, that was shit, I'm going to say. Give these guys gold with diamonds on it. Give them a lot because they could go a season unbeaten. I've caught him. I caught him off guard.
Oh, my God.
Forget a league. Just win every game. You know, that's what they're doing. They're winning in every competition. Alrighty.
You love annoying Arsenal fans, don't you?
Oh, I hate the Arsenal fans. Yeah, rubbish. Bunch
No,
of
they've
fans
clicked
there.
off now. So.
Yeah. Who cares? See, they're casuals. They don't watch any of this real life stuff because they're too biased. All right, go to the big segment of this week. We've moved away from confusion, I think. We're getting to more locked-in type positions. And we're going with the number 10s this week. 10 number 10s. Say that again. And, gee, some big names. There's some younger names as well.
Yep.
Gee, I think my average age is looking below 25, almost as how young my list is.
Yeah, mine's probably about the
same as well, yeah. I want to make an honourable shout quickly before we get into it. Yep. Something that you touched, I think, towards the start of this show. Isco is my honourable shout because if he was still fit, I would have him in. Just hasn't played, some time and loved what he was doing. His stats still rack up with some of the best in the world right now. And he hasn't played for ages, so I hope I didn't spoil any list there. But he's my honourable shout before we get into the top 10.
So
here we go.
Number 10.
Number 10.
Isco.
Oh, who would have thought?
Again, obviously the injury, like you said, has sort of ruined his season big time. But I think just the fact that he was up there with Bellingham as the player of the season while he was fit is ridiculous. And for a guy that, at Madrid was well respected, but didn't get probably necessarily the game time. I think went out on loan to Valencia and I think struggled there a little bit. But now he's at Betis and he's the leader of that team. He's just been unbelievable. I think he's recently come back from his injury, I think.
I think I saw him the other day,
I think he's just come back. So, as far as I'm concerned, should still be very much considered, if not going to the Euros for Spain, I think with a shadow of a doubt. Comfortable on the ball and has carried that better side to a very respectable 7th position on the league at the minute, which I think is very good for Betis. So
European football.
Yeah, and it scores some big goals. Like I think Barca scored 2 to get them back into
Barca.
it.
Yep.
And just some big performances this season. For a guy that looked sort of finished in a way,
on the outer,
but very well respected in Spain and.
Got to go to the Euros. Has to.
Yeah, has to.
I think we agree off the bench it'd be incredible to bring on in terms of how young that midfield could be. You never know. So I think he'd have to come in there.
Yeah.
Alrighty. My number 10, that was, I was tossing with Isco and this guy. This is more of a personal favourite. It's not much of my rogue shout this week. I went Xavi Simons on my number 10.
Nice.
These guys' stats are almost similar. I think Xavi Simons just got more because he's played more games. But I'm so big in this. I cannot wait for next season with
him and Zé. It's going to
that
be fun,
midfield there, that youthful, PSG team will, pique my interest. I'll be looking at PSG a little bit more often because he's just got the pace. He's got a quick turn of acceleration, breaks through the lines, and he has a worldie in his bag. We've seen him swivel volleys and half volleys and long shots. He's constantly on the Bundesliga page, just going his worldies. So love what he does. And every time I've seen him watch Leipzig, him and Olmo, that little connection they've got, their creative minds. You put him with another creative mind, I think any team, any back line will struggle to contain him. And I think when this guy was talking about when he was 15 or 14, everyone was like, the sky's the limit. And then you hope they don't disappear into, but he's stayed at that level, right? He stayed consistent. It's similar to a Martin Odegaard where he was so much pressure when they were young, big club, but he's going to continue to remain relevant, I guess. Whereas Odegaard sort of disappeared for a little bit and then came back, obviously, with Arsenal's move. But the fact he can go on loan and not just get lost in maybe a bit of the hype. He stayed at it.
Yep.
He's going to come back to PSG and probably be their top 5, top 6 player, I think, next year when he comes in. So
100%.
He's my number 10 for me and could be even higher next year.
Yeah, very nice. I've got Xavi Simons at number 9.
Like it. This is like with continuity.
For a 20-year-old, he's ridiculous, isn't he? Him and Zeremri next season are going to be so fun to watch for PSG fans and just as a neutral. 9 goals and 13 assists in all comps for a Leipzig side that, we know how young they are. They do focus on youth. We know that they can be inconsistent at times, but he's been unbelievable and he sort of roams around. He drifts out wide to receive the ball a lot, but some of his unbelievable goals this season have come from picking up the ball in midfield, driving and shooting. And I loved his goal on the weekend where found that little pocket of space in between the DMs and the centre backs, turned and played a 1-2 and scored a belter. So, his dribbling's ridiculous. He's so creative and, like you said, everything you mentioned, the goals, and he's got the whole package for a 20-year-old. So.
It's in that same mould again where you could almost leave him as a false nine and he'd score some goals. So
I mean, we could have put him as like a left wing or right
I think
winger.
you could. Yeah, you could go left
he
wing.
has he does kind of like start out there, but on the ball will drift.
And it's the Leipzig way. They just give him free reign to do what you want and produce as much as you can. All right, my number 9 is someone who I mentioned actually last week. I got Paulo Dybala as my number 9.
Nice.
A bit of a bromance now before me and Paulo Dybala. You tell me they missed him on the weekend. They were probably one of the poorest performances they've put in probably a month, I think, Roma. And the common factor that wasn't there was Paulo Dybala. You know, when you need someone to finish or create something from nothing, Pellegrini ended up doing it. But this guy Dybala, especially the last 2 months now that you can say, he's popped up every time they needed someone. He's going to be big in this Europa League run, I feel, especially with the next leg they've got. He's going to be massive in terms of his experience in big competitions, his know-how. And like I said last week, when he's on the ball, does he make a bad decision? Basically not. And he's so cool, calm and collected. He's got the goals in him, and the assist numbers this year followed. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know what I found out the number was last week, but I think I was saying it's probably in the top 5 amongst every league. His numbers he's put up together, he'd be in top 5 of every single league you put him in. So ridiculous numbers. Refound that best Juventus form, and 100%. Absolutely love that. He's my number 9.
Well, fair play. I've got him number 8.
Look at us go.
Number 8, Again, was good under Mourinho, but whole new level under De Rossi. He's been ridiculous. Some of the goals he's scored with his left foot edge of the box. If he's on a tight angle, he'll slip it past the keeper. Playing in behind Lukaku, I think, Lukaku looks 10 times the player we saw him on the weekend. He missed some absolute sitters. Dybala's, brilliant. Again, he's had the odd little injury here and there. He has missed nothing long term, but he has missed the odd 1 or 2 games, not just this year, but over the past couple of seasons. But that left foot is probably, I can't think of a better foot in Serie A. One of the best in the world for sure. When he's on, and could be higher if he maintained this level and got the chance to for a whole season.
Copa America coming up as well.
Yeah, he
got to be a starter, surely.
I think even Europa League. I think if Roma are going to go far in this competition, it'll be all through him. One man. Yeah. If he's on fire, I think they could very easily reach the semi, get past AC, and Leverkusen.
You never know.
See what happens.
All right. I think we'll go with the same numbers because I've obviously got a player that you had last week. I'm going to have in this list, so we might have all the same names. I went bold with number 8, and I don't know if I'm going to regret this or not. I'm going to go with Jamal Musiala as my number 8.
Oh,
low down. I just got a bit of a few players I think right now who I prefer.
Okay.
And he's more preference because right now Musiala's lighting the world on fire in terms of he's their best player. Harry Kane, then Musiala, let's say that.
Yeah.
He's been ridiculous this year. He's getting overshadowed by someone else in the league, in my view. That's why I've got it a little bit lower. It does feel hard for me saying this, but I just think you give me another year, maybe he's like 3rd. But right now, I just think it's a short sample space. End of last season and this season, ridiculous. Unstoppable when he gets his head up. I think he's one of the best. He can get his head up, start driving into spaces, intricate interplay. I still think some of the players above have that better long-range passing, like some of the Hollywood passes, I guess we like to call them. But, this guy, good size, good package, can play anywhere across that sort of left wing, right wing, down the middle. So he can slot in anywhere. And as I said, he's been very important for Bayern this season. He's the second best player by a long way. And what would they do without him or Tell, to be honest? Because these guys have come up clutch in big moments. So
the next generation.
It does feel a little harsh, but I like the players above him a little bit more.
That's fair enough.
That's the first rogue one of the day.
That's fair enough. Number 7. I don't know if you'll have this guy, actually. I've got James Madison.
Number 7. I had him originally.
Obviously, big injury this season, but start of the season, he was on absolute fire. Probably you could argue, the best signing in the Premier League. Probably definitely top 3 for sure. I think his passing is probably his best attribute. I know he's got a lot of things going for him, but his passing, his ability to find the gap between the centre-back and the full-back to play through Son and Kulusevski, Johnson, Werner, whoever it is ridiculous. And obviously, set pieces, he's brilliant as well. Adds that quality, shooting from distance. I like when he gets the ball on the edge of the box and he can whip it into the far corner. He does that so many times. And, just a well-respected Premier League player, someone that was well-respected at Leicester. We knew his quality. And is now the player that we knew he could be at a big club if he got that chance.
Yeah.
So he's been brilliant. Would probably be higher, but just the injury.
If he kept playing, I could have had him top 5.
Maybe the injury has obviously affected him a little bit. I think he hasn't been the same.
Yeah, same, yeah.
But still, brilliant football.
Top player.
Yep.
Yeah. He could be number 3 at the start of the season, like easily number 3.
If we did this start of the season.
Yeah, different story.
Exactly.
Real into a different story.
Yeah.
All right, my number 7. Maybe this is very reactionary after the weekend. I went Bruno number 7. This is now, like, as much people, he's easy to have a go at. I think we all can agree he's easier to target. But this is a guy that I think when he ends his career, he'll be in so much pain because he constantly will play through knocks, niggles, never not available. And that for me is one of the best strengths of him. He plays the most ridiculous passes sometimes that look awful, but when they work out and they do 6, 7 out of 10 times, when he's at his best 8, 9 out of 10 times, that's the difference between us being a mediocre team and a great team. And on the weekend, he sacrificed his game. He played centre-back alongside Maguire. He played next to Dalot at times. That's something that people have a guy from being a rubbish captain or something or other. He's an easy target, but when you look at all the stuff he does, and I'm a big defender of Bruno because I feel like he's to play every single position this season. He's played on the right, played on the left, played at the 10, had to play at the 6 at times. When I went and watched live, I got to see him play centre-back as well because of how stretched the game gets. He just does whatever the team needs, he'll do. And when the team's settled, and when you think back, I know it was maybe the most unique moment ever, but during that away run where we didn't lose, when it was Matic, Pogba and him, you saw the goals and assists because he was playing at 10. Yep. Like when you get him at number 10 and you get good players behind him, so if Casemiro and Mane were behind him, we saw 2 or 3 games we only got, but he started to play well again and you got Højlund scoring in front of you. The numbers are ridiculous. He's still number 1 chance creator, I think, across every league. So he's still doing it. It's just that you're not getting the output because you've got out of form Rashford, out of form Højlund at times. So I still reckon we can't bite the bullet too much on him. He's still a very, very good number 10. On his day, probably the best. Sometimes he can be off it. So that's why I've got him sort of 7th at the moment.
Very nice. I've got Bruno Fernandes, number 6.
Yeah.
I mean, the numbers speak for themselves ever since he's arrived at United. Do I like him as a footballer, as a captain? No, because I'm a Liverpool supporter. I see him diving around at times. Again, we know his weaknesses. We know he can be a liability at times. I think that's fair to say. But it's only because he's trying so hard and because he's doing everything he can to win a game and to improve Man United as a team and as a football club. And, he's very direct the way he plays, always looking for those balls to Rashford or Garnacho. And, that's a positive. Again, sometimes he might force it, might do stupid balls that you think, Bruno, what are you doing? But again, it's like what I said. He's trying, he works his ass off. You can never fault his effort or fault his commitment. You can maybe fault some other things like his positioning and at times and the way he forces things. But again, ever since he's been at that club, he's been ridiculous through the bad times at the start when you had Pereira and Martial up top. But
God help me.
But he's, you can't just forget his quality because,
He's the best of at Portugal, and that's when you got good players around him. So that's the biggest tick in his book. My number 6 is another Bundesliga player. I went Florian Wirtz, number 6 for me. So still some of the big names ahead. I've got a lot of big names ahead, so he hasn't quite broke into that bracket yet. He was 5th. He got pushed to 6th because
I'm very intrigued by your
maybe I was thinking about the people too much. If I'm going to slandered, if I had him, some other guy below him. But he started 5th, ended up in 6th. Great player, one of my favourite players. Can't wait to see him at the Euros.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see how they work it all out with Musiala, with him.
Yeah.
Who plays the left,
Cruz
who plays in the middle, Cruz is back.
Yeah.
Ilkay Gundogan in the form he's in. So I don't know how it all works out, but you've got to play him at some point, at somewhere. And you saw on the weekend, like one touch inside, one touch again, then curled in the far corner. This guy, goals, assists, vision, ball carrying ability, got the lot. Like there's not many that can stop him at the moment. And just maybe the longevity of some players above or the current form of some players above get in above him. But hurt me to put him that low, but That's where he is for me.
Fair enough.
Maybe in Bundesliga harsh this week. I've been harsh on the lads in Bundesliga.
Top 5. This is going to be interesting. I got Musiala at 5. Yeah. Not only is him and Kane carried them this season, like you said, but last season I think he single-handedly won them the league. Obviously,
you did.
Last game of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know many players in world football that can do what he did. Pick up the ball, dribble through a couple of players, edge of the box. He would have known the pressure. They had to win. He would have known, and to do that was just ridiculous. And his dribbling is outrageous. I mean, some of the goals he scored in the past couple of weeks have been Puskas contenders.
Yeah,
I mean, they've been ridiculous. And when things aren't going well for Bayern at times this season, whether it's been Champions League or Bundesliga, he's just been the one to say, I know there's experienced guys like Kane and Kimmich and Muller, but I'm going to be the one to step up and it doesn't matter with all these guys, their experience. I'm going to show, the world, what I can do. And that's what he's done, him and sort of Matisse Tell this season. And I think 12 goals and 7 assists for a struggling Bayern side is still a very good, respectable return. And, probably the only weakness in his game is, despite how good his dribbling is, there are times where he could release the ball maybe a little bit earlier. I think that's something that a lot of Bayern fans are very harsh on him about. But when you got a player that can dribble and create that well, sometimes you just got to accept that, sometimes it'll be brilliant and sometimes it'll be frustrating. But a bit similar to Bruno, you just got to, because of how much he tries and wants it and his competitiveness, you just got to kind of just accept that.
Live with it a bit.
Exactly.
No, good call. Good call. My number 5, who are Arsenal fans, got Martin Odegaard number 5, so don't hate me anymore. I'll put him on Florian Wirtz for God's sake. You put together these guys last 24 months almost, 18 months if you want to really shorten it. One of the best in the world. He's probably the most, other than for one guy, basically the centre, but he's basically in this list for me the most all-rounded in terms of he could drop in a number 8, and I still reckon that's something to play around with if you're Arsenal at some points with Havertz wants to go on the 10. He's got enough defensive IQ to sort of drop in and be a great midfielder. And I think what I've been most impressed about this season, he struggled to start, especially in those low blocks. I said a lot in my prediction videos, if you're against Arsenal, play the low block against them because they struggle at times. But what you've seen when they've broken through the low block or beaten these small teams, him and Saka's ability just to play those 1-2s and take out 5 players, just eliminate 5 players defensive because how they work together is I've been gobsmacked. I'd said most time this season, especially the first half of the season, I would watch there in awe of what Arsenal are doing because how they're playing through the lines. And Saka and Erdegaard, the fact he can just sort of wander out, Erdegaard just sort of wanders out wide, helps the winger out, gets him involved, and then will drop back in, edge of the area for a great finish. Those goals haven't quite come as often this season as it was last season. It felt like he was always just popping up, edge of the box, bang, goal. And I can talk about that because he came and did it to us against this early start of the season, just pops up edge of the area, and it's a goal. So all-round game, ability to get others involved and improve the side, and captain as well. Like I talked about him earlier, he sort of went away a little bit when he got loaned away from Real, stuck at Real, and then he's got the big, apparently the end of his career top move to Arsenal because Arsenal was struggling, but he's become one of the top number 10s in the world. So fair play to him.
Hang on, very well said.
Number 5.
My number 4 is Martin Odegaard.
Look at us go.
Yeah, pretty much exactly what you said. Everything. I mean, last 2 years been exceptional. For a guy that's only 25 to be captaining the side, he's got so much experience, but yet still so much to learn and develop. And his passing in between sort of tight spaces. I mean, we saw it in the Champions League, Trossard's goal. I mean, that ball is just ridiculous. Not many players in world football see that kind of pass. And it's bang on about what you said, edge of the box goals. I mean, he's always there. Saka and Martinelli getting along the byline, and he's just there. And he always finishes the opposite corner. Always, it's brilliant finishing. It's a hard finish to do. Because you can very easily mess it up. You can drag it. You can hit it straight at the keeper, but it's hit the side netting every time, pretty much, or the top corner. It's just brilliant, and he's starting to step up in the bigger games as well. Which Liverpool, the last 2, probably 3 games, he's been really good. The Man City game at home and the United game. So that's something that, for me, at the start of this season, I was looking at him saying, the bigger games, can you do what you do against the Wolves and the Crystal Palaces, those kind of mid-table teams? But he's been exactly as you said, he's been brilliant for the past 2 seasons. So.
All right, get ready, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Man City team. Number 4, I've got Phil Foden. I know you can put him on the left, and I imagine that's where you're going to have him.
I'll have him on the right.
On the right or left, or wherever we want to put him at the front, basically across the front line. But I just felt like getting them all out of the way at once. So I got Phil Foden number 4. Arguably, maybe right now, alongside Wirtz, the most in form. Oh, and someone else I have to mention as well. Probably the most in form central attacking midfielder or right winger or whatever you want to call it in the world.
Yep.
Broke his own records in terms of career stats for a season. Got definitely on the Euros. We sat on the couch. I was trying to work out a way how to get all these guys into an 11. It doesn't sound like it's possible.
Yeah, no.
But you have to find a way to get this guy playing at his best. So I think he's going to be vital to the Euros and to this England side, despite some of the names going to be there. That says a lot about his performances and form.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing with him and someone else I'll mention is KDB was out for the big chunk of the season, for the nitty-gritty part of the season where you're playing games every second, third day, through Christmas, through that start of the season where you're moulding, teething problems are sorting out, and he did a great job. Whether it was in the number 10 or whether it was off the right, off the left, or wherever he wants to fill in, he was doing that job, and he was doing it to a great level. So as much as City can be worried about what happens when KDB's gone, you've got one guy here who can absolutely do it for you. Yeah, so he's my number 4.
Bang on, yep. My number 3 is Florian Wirtz.
There he is.
100%. I mean, he's, besides any Liverpool player, he's my favourite Liverpool.
He might be Liverpool.
Yeah, I hope so, yeah. He's my favourite player to watch. I mean, he is unbelievable. I mean, the goal he scored on the weekend, 90 seconds into a game, just to do a little body feint and just bang it in the side netting on the right corner is just ridiculous. Obviously had that massive ACL injury. Before that, he was brilliant. But this season to come back better, fitter, stronger, to have 11 goals, 17 assists in 36 games in all comps is just mental, considering how much they use the wing backs to create their chances. Wirtz's passing is brilliant. I think 2 weeks ago, I think he scored his first league goal of the year, which was, I think, quite mental. For me, I thought he scored a lot more. I think the commentator said that, but I mean, it just goes to show the amount. He gives the ball off to Schick and to Teller and all these guys, and he's a difference maker. He wins games by himself at times, particularly this season, and I can't wait to watch him at the Euros. And he's just an unbelievable footballer at the minute.
Superstar.
I can't see a weakness in his game. It
doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't really feel like it.
Can't get him off the ball. Doesn't make any bad passes. Yeah.
Scores goals.
What's stopping any of these players?
He's fucking 20 years old.
Yep.
He's just come off
a bad injury. Yeah,
so,
They're going to come calling. I tell you what, they're going to come calling.
My dream is that Alonso goes to Liverpool, Leverkusen terminate Wirtz's contract, and we get him for free because he's going to cost.
No FFP problems.
He's going to cost a fortune.
Yeah,
so.
he's going to cost an arm and a leg. Yeah. No, fair play. Alrighty, my number 3 is who you had last. Bernardo Silva, another City player, but yeah. I don't know if I can say anything else that you didn't say last week. He's just, he's impressed me. He's the one that filled in at times for De Bruyne. Again, I appreciate he has played an 8 a fair bit, but he's always, for me, number 10 in my eyes, where he creates the most probably underappreciated player in the City squad. This new iteration, I feel like you don't get talk. You think about Rodri now, you talk about them, you talk about Gundogan, you talk about KDB, Haaland. What about this guy who's been there all the way through? What about this guy's created consistently? Who's as good. I think him and Bruno are so interesting to watch at Portugal because they elevate again to another level. So this guy doesn't put in a bad performance. He'll bit of a whinger, which I don't really like, but fair play. He's a superstar and probably City's most consistent performer this season. I think I'd say
probably.
Considering some of the players and names you've got in that team there, that says a lot about him. So he's my number 3.
100%. Number 2, I've got Jude Bellingham.
Same here.
Yeah, I mean. There's not too much to say. I mean, he's a potential Ballon d'Or winner, depending on the Euros. Probably all comes down to that. Just unbelievable this season. He's so versatile. He's played as almost a striker at times, an attacking midfielder, can play as a box-to-box 8. But if you're that desperate, you could put him as a 6, and he'd probably have the same impact on games. Yeah. I mean, he's just ridiculous for a guy that's 20, and it's just so impressive how to go to Madrid for 100 million. It doesn't matter who you are when you go to Madrid. You already have so much pressure on you from the fans, from that whole club, the aura, the history of that club. But from the outside, as someone that's not a Madrid fan, looking in going, you spent 100 million, you need that guy to perform pretty much straight away if you're paying that much money and you're Jude Bellingham at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You've been spoken about in the highest regard.
Yeah.
To just come in and to, I'm meant to be here.
Yeah.
I don't feel pressure.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with the players that they have to just slot in that well and to be one of the best.
Yeah.
Not in just that team in the world.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. And in any other top 10 list, he'd be number one.
Yeah.
But the guy that's number one is just...
He's just an alien.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say anything else. The only thing I say is you're right. He's gone into a midfield with Tchouaméni, Valverde, Kroos, Modric, who am I missing? Camavinga.
Yeah.
Like we've rattled it off.
Diaz,
yeah.
Brand
Diaz in many top 10 lists on the internet. I had to look at a few lists online, and they've put him in a lot of lists. And he's been great. And like we've listed off 7, 8 names here, and he's the best one.
Yeah.
And he's at Real Madrid, and I'll keep touching on Terry Henry's comments. To sign for Real Madrid or Barcelona, especially Real Madrid where they're currently at, is the hardest, the most pressure you'll deal with ever.
Yep.
Because every night, every game, the spotlight is on you, especially Bellingham. He's got all the eyes on him.
Yep.
English talent that's gone to Madrid. So we got Beckham had to go through. Same thing with Bellingham, and he's lived up to it. And you're right, he's 20 years old.
Yeah.
Physical, IQ, smart, everything. Got the package, and you're right. Every other list, he's number one.
Yep.
Probably the number one informed player in the world.
Yeah.
But there's someone that has more respect, and that's Mr. KDB.
KDB number one, both of us.
Yeah. You'd be wrong not to put him on number one.
I mean, I'm shocked on the Monday episode that not all of us had him in our all-time 11. You did have him.
I had him. You had him. Antonio didn't have him.
Yeah, I'm surprised it wasn't a clean sweep because for me, I mean, I know the numbers don't suggest it, but sometimes we just overlook at the numbers and, as just a pure footballer, his technical ability is just, and everything he's done for that club, he's just ridiculous. He's stepped up in big games, big moments, won them Champions League games by himself, won them Premier League titles by himself. I mean, you look at the highlights package of him and you think, how are some of these balls that he delivers to a Foden or a Haaland or a Aguero in the past even possible? But he's just, ever since he's come to that club, it's always been, how do we stop Kevin De Bruyne? And no matter what you do, who you throw at him, he's so smart. He can move to any side of the pitch. He can find his own pockets of space and just create and just be a ridiculous footballer.
Yeah, I've always said it's his and Salah's era, and because of the numbers the number of trophies he's got, it becomes his era.
Yeah.
But like as much as I appreciate all the other midfielders that Antonio had and all the other great Premier League midfielders, but when it's all said and done, if you just you just watch him, I think he's got to go up there as the best. Like he's
got everything. The numbers don't suggest it, obviously.
No.
I think Tot said it, but I think Lampard has like 100 more goal contributions.
Different structures and like.
Exactly.
I just think pure midfielder, like in terms of attacking midfield, creating midfielder, try and stop that. Try and beat that because he's like Scholes was always regarded as the best passer. I think he's got better passing than him.
Yeah.
The smarts of Jared on the ball, I still think he's probably got the better smarts on the balls. But like, you can pick parts of their game. You can say here, counter with this what De Bruyne has. He's just got he can play a little bit deep if you have to. But why would you waste that talent anywhere other than for the number 10? And fundamental. Pep came across. He came across. Fundamental to this side. So always has been number one for me. So go over your list one more time just before we wrap this one up.
So I've got Isco at 10, Xavi Simons at 9, Dybala at 8, Maddison at 7, Bruno Fernandes at 6, Musiala at 5, Odegaard at 4, Wirtz at 3, Bellingham 2, De Bruyne number 1.
And I have Xavi Simons 10, Paulo Dybala 9, Jamal Musiala 8, Bruno Fernandes 7, Florian Wirtz 6, Martin Odegaard 5, Phil Foden 4, Bernardo Silva 3, Jude 2, and Kevin De Bruyne number 1.
Very nice.
Good lists.
Two good lists. Two very good lists. Yep.
Come well.
Similar.
Come good. Similar enough. Yeah. A
similar.
few alterations here and there.
We're back to the less
normality.
Yeah,
I think
normality.
a little bit. Yeah. Less like half. I have half. You have sort of thing. All right. Let's get into our therapy session for the week. You sat down on the couch for a reason. Inter Milan. I have put the absolute player's own curse on them. The reverse. We've actually made teams perform better normally, but this time we put on them, and they've had a rough week. In terms of probably the worst week in probably the last 12 months for them because they've been unbeatable, too good. And after I said that'd be my Champions League favourites, went and got knocked out by Atletico Madrid. And that just sums it up. I should shut my mouth sometimes, shouldn't I? And they go and draw against Napoli as well. So after I said they could break the Serie A record, and they could
bit of a shocker.
Yeah, I had a shocker. I absolutely stinker.
But like a week ago, there was like nothing wrong in saying that. It was completely valid.
They just got toughened over Bologna. And then midweek, they started the game on fire. They were
good.
Fantastic.
It was the same old. It's what we expected.
Yeah, after DeMarco's already thought, yep, all right, 2-0 in aggregate, easy, see it out, you'll be fine. Atletico didn't look likely. Yeah.
Even if Atletico get a goal, you'd still expect them to just grind it out like they did against Bologna.
Yeah.
Against Genoa at home where they only won 2-1.
Yeah.
Against Juventus 1-0. You sort of just expected that. But I mean, there's a reason Atletico. I don't think they've lost a Champions League game at home.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I think I saw some stats. Simeone has never lost a Champions League game at home.
Makes sense.
It's just ridiculous. Atletico. I mean, Inter had a couple of chances. I think Barella had
Barella was the big one.
But yeah, just defensive lapses. I think it was just defensive moments.
Little moments.
Just caught them off guard. And fair play Atletico. I mean, were Inter probably the better side? I'd still say yes.
Yeah,
because I think the first how they only won 1-0, I'll never know.
Arnautovic probably lost in the tie when you think about it.
A lot of hate was on Lautaro Martinez for the pen, but the game should have never gone to penalties if you're Inter. I think there's much more different areas you could have looked at than a missed penalty by a player. So it's disappointing because, I think a lot of people would have had them as, if not Man City, Real Madrid,
them.
Inter,
for
sure.
Yeah.
But, it's just what Atletico do. Just find ways to win. And
we said that.
It's just that European kind of pedigree under Simeone, which has just got them over the line.
Yeah, we said that. We said that's why we highlighted it as like the big game because it's one team that's trying to establish itself as a European giant once again versus a team that's just always there. They always find a way. We say Simeone, cup football specialist. He's not the most exciting, but they find and I'd sort of pinpoint the Barella moment for me. Massive. I think that was just tired legs. He
looked knackered.
He shot the ball from way too far away. He should have just sort of took it to Oblak, took it past him and scored.
He curved it.
He tried to I don't know what it was, but then I think it was De Vrij or Serbi that allowed Depay to turn.
I think it was De Vrij.
I
think, yeah.
You can't you're allowing a ball in and then allowing him to turn around. It's for me
so simple.
That's not Inter. You're not allowing something like that, and that was a goal that sort of like,
that was like these lot are knackered.
Yeah,
and it looked into an exhausted big game against Bologna, which they had to battle and fight through. And then going to Atletico, it's a tough place to play. Madrid have lost. I don't think they've beaten them.
They haven't won there.
They haven't won there. It's just and then Atletico losing 3-0 to Barca at home.
Oh god,
it's just mental.
Classic Atletico, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's just disappointing for Milan. I was really looking forward to seeing how far they could go, but it's just gonna have to be next year.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to strengthen that squad.
Yeah,
again, particularly I think the forward line. I think if you're gonna go again in the Champions League, get to another final, as good as guys like Alexis Sanchez and Arnautovic have been, I think you just need to look for someone not to necessarily start because no one's starting over Martinez.
Yeah,
at the moment, his numbers speak for themselves, but I think you just need that bit more quality coming off from the bench. I think
you can pinpoint those two. Arnautovic in the first leg was disappointing. Sanchez misses the penalty coming off the bench in the second leg. So, and we've I think we've rightly praised these sort of players that have been, like we said, not the household names, but have done the job. But if you want to be the Man Cities, the Real Madrids, you've got to have names everywhere, right? You're going to need even like someone off the bench that can change a game for the midfield.
Yeah,
like
100%.
So you can bring a Barella if they're tired off, or Çalhanoğlu who's a bit older, bring them off and bring someone who's got legs to run about and create things.
100%.
And like a forward to back up Thuram or back up Martinez off the bench as well. That basically sold because the backline's still.
Their backline's great. They've got a lot of depth. They've got a couple of guys that can play multiple positions across there. Darmian has played a lot of wing back.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's played centre back this season. Dumfries is a wing back, but
can drop in.
So the defense is fine. They've got a great goalkeeper. It's just about squad depth for them. And
absolutely.
if they can do that, there's no reason why they can't get to a final.
Absolutely.
Next year, I don't think. So.
Yeah, because a great touch on that. I want to touch on the draw they got to Napoli, which is another disappointing result. But the goal, Bastoni's ended up on the left again. He's whipped the ball into Darmian in the middle of the box to tap the ball home. This is getting ridiculous now. Next is going to be a Serbi crossing it in.
Into a left central midfielder.
He basically is. When they're on the front foot and they lock a team in, Bastoni's there. Darmian or De Vrij push it in as well. It's just ridiculous. Serbi's the only one that just sits there on the halfway line and says, you guys go.
But again, how many chances are they going to miss? That game should have been done and dusted before.
They've had a rough sort of last 3 games in terms of their season.
Finishing.
Yeah.
And just
struggled second half versus Bologna. Struggled second half versus Atletico.
Yeah. Second half against Napoli. That's when they started to create a more chances. Napoli.
They should have 3-0'd them or 4-0'd them at half time.
Yeah.
And that's
Barella he's finishing. He's blazed a couple of shots over the bar.
I think one of the bar, bad one, yeah.
I think he had one in the second half where looked like he had an open goal, 1-on-1 with the keeper inside the close to the 6-yard box, but Napoli defender just comes in and blocks it.
Yep.
And it's just obviously they'll still win the league, still already have a trophy with the Coppa,
Super Coppa, I think.
Super
Coppa,
yeah. So again, it'll still be an extremely successful season, but there's always going to be that Champions League. Yeah, it's just disappointing.
Yeah.
No one's probably expecting them to win it, but semi-final would have been, I think, with how they've been going in Serie A, probably a minimum, to be honest.
The form of some of their players, just
disappointing.
Wrong team, wrong time.
Wrong times. They hit a bit of a difficult patch, but credit Atletico and Napoli credits them as well for hanging in there.
So, they know how to get done. Yeah. And Napoli as well.
It doesn't mean too much for Napoli's season, but
Napoli continue to be the seesawing affair. You don't know what you're going to get from them. But
I don't even know if they'll get Europe.
I don't think they will anymore. I think they're
well off top 4. I don't know the gap from 6 and stuff.
I think it's too big.
Just the way they're playing, you can't trust them from game to game. Juventus, they were brilliant.
Yeah.
But then they'll go and drop stupid points to some teams. So, it'll be an interesting one.
3 points of Atalanta and 6, but Atalanta have a game in hand.
Yeah.
And they're well off 6 points of Roma.
Yeah.
And 5th, I think. Yeah. Napoli too inconsistent for me. Let's sort of stay in that Champions League tone and just quickly to jump to Spain. Barcelona, we put the alternate curse on them because they've just found some form, and Lewandowski, Ferman Lopez, Kobasi, all these guys have just stood up. Won the game versus Napoli in the Champions League quite convincingly.
That first 20 minutes was some of the best they've played this season.
It felt like Barcelona, and then the final goal just was Barcelona to a T. It was just sort of drop off, get it back, drop it off again, and goal. I was like, and Sergio Roberto's involved,
that's the Barca of last season.
Yeah,
that's what we want. That's why we were so hard on them, because it's like, we understand you win the league. There's a kind of always usually a drop in just performance in general. But, just that goal was brilliant. And their performance over the last couple of weeks have been really good, considering who they've got out. And you asked me last week who's been more impressive, Bayern or well, I said Barca because of the injuries, because of how convincing they've looked. The performance against Atletico was really good, really good.
Yeah.
Atletico spewed some chances. Morata missed a sitter. Ter Stegen made some
great saves. Yeah.
But fully deserved it. Gundogan again was boss in that midfield, and Ferman Lopez has been 2 goals in 2 games again. Kobasi as well, just come from the clouds, and Lewandowski's just, he's still got that quality about him. His finishing is ridiculous, but credit to them. Hopefully they can keep this going for the season, because tough Champions League draw against PSG, that's going to be a beauty. If they can get through that, I don't know. I think they'll have either Atletico They have Atletico or Dortmund. So,
that's a weaker side of the draw.
You'd back them, So that is the weaker side. So,
and with PSG, they're so young.
I think that motivation's come back as well. For Xavi.
Come on, do it. Let's do it. Come on, let's get over the line.
And we don't know about PSG.
That's the thing. We don't know. They're a great side, but they're a very young side. Gonzalo Ramos, Dembele will probably look for some revenge over his former side. But I said to one of my Barcelona mates, I wouldn't be surprised if he went down the first 10 minutes with some hamstring injury, just because of the irony of it all. It would be, been fit all the season, goes to play Barcelona, does his hammy. But even then, you've got this sort of younger midfield as well.
Yep.
Do they know how to take it to the likes of Gundogan, will Fermin Lopez, rise to the occasion. It's going to be one of the more exciting battles. Obviously, you got the big boy, the massive ones on the other side with Real and Man City on that side. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see like a Clasico final. It just feels like it's going to happen.
The Champions League now, it feels like it's like so exciting.
Yeah,
the last round was kind of dead. I don't think we're the only ones in saying that.
No,
it was
everyone
very
agreed.
dead. But I mean, every single draw in the Champions League, you can't pick an obvious winner.
No,
you genuinely can't.
You
it's ridiculous. So I mean, all the games are going to be unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for it. But I'll be up Friday morning for screw Champions League football. I'll be up for my Liverpool Atlanta.
Oh,
so, and then
decent.
That'll be an interesting game.
Yeah.
Considering we've spoken about Atlanta a lot.
Yeah,
so.
that'd be decent enough.
But yeah, it'll be
Barcelona though.
Yep. See what happens with them. Good on them for
6 points on Real.
Good on them for turning it around. Second in the not off the.
It's not impossible. It's not impossible.
Gone ahead of Girona. You'd expect them to finish second. So
it's a big win against Atletico. I think it was their biggest win since like the Ronaldinho. I'm pretty sure they said
the way they played. It was just miles better with a lot less quality.
There was no household names there. There was Fermins. There was Gundogan. You got Kabassi. This guy. I feel bad. I said I think about a month ago I said I don't know who he is, but now I've kept an eye on him and he's a superstar.
Just kind of started playing.
He's got introduced.
I think Araujo started to.
He's picked it up
a little bit. Yeah. Thankfully,
can't go off my list. The integrity of my list. He's listed performances. It just feels like Enter Stegen's back, and it just feels like, is this the Barca we were sort of used to again?
Expecting.
Yeah.
Under Xavi.
Yeah.
So.
They could do it for him.
Do you think if Barca keep going, finish if they get to a Champions League final, if they get very close to winning the league, do you think, I know Xavi's come out and said multiple times, no, I am leaving. Do you think there's any inkling for the board, for himself?
To offer him something.
Yeah, for himself to say, you know what, I've made a mistake. I want to come back next year and I want to coach.
I'd be surprised. They miss him out with a year out and they realise they need him and they get him back.
He comes back. Because you just feel he should be coaching, but it doesn't feel like he would go anywhere else. No,
exactly. I think you're right when you said that because I was like, does he go somewhere? But yeah, you're right. You cannot imagine anywhere else. And we've seen managers struggle. No one's really nailed the job since, other than for Xavi.
Yeah.
Since sort of Enrique had that great team. The team played itself. That Enrique didn't have to coach that team. But since then, we've had so many managers go there and just struggle, right? He's the one that's gone there and sort of nailed it down. So I think what will end up happening is someone will go there, underperform, or the fans won't like it. They'll get Xavi back and then it'll be like never left.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Yeah.
Because I feel like now he's sort of like he wants to be on the beach for a bit. He wants to just relax because it's such a high intensity job. The fans expect so much.
I think we both expect him to be back there.
Whether
it's a year, whether it's a couple of years.
Yeah.
Where else would
in the next 5 years?
Where else would he genuinely? I just can't see it.
Nah. I just think
it feels weird.
Yeah, no, I cannot see him playing these charity games. I want to see him managing the big guys on the touchline. And he's got years to go. Yeah, he's a young manager.
He's only young into his managerial career, but already a very successful one. So
yeah, I would not be surprised. I'm going to screw this up now as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if a Clasico final. I can just see it somehow. I can just like back in Wembley, big stage, Clasico. Barcelona have pedigree at Wembley with some great Champions League final wins. Yeah. I can just see that.
I mean, you can make a case for all 8 teams.
Yeah, we could see a replay of that Dortmund Bayern final at Wembley again as well. I said I was saying to a few of the boys on Saturday, I wouldn't be surprised to see that either. I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if anyone gets through.
Exactly, that side of the draw. Yeah, particularly I think Real Madrid or Man City is probably a banker. Yeah, you would say now. Yeah. Obviously, we'll see what happens there, but you'd bank on them. But for the other side of the draw, I mean, it's
take your pick.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great fun.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
We've got obviously a few weeks, but the week before those fixtures,
if the title races obviously in Bundesliga,
we'll dive so deep into that.
Champions League will be good.
It'll be an hour of Champions League analysis. I think that's where we end up being.
Yeah.
Now we are smashing through time, but I want to touch on Preston's education corner for week 2. We're going with. Again, it's more of a subjective list. It's more just one of a chat about things.
It's a bit of fun, yeah.
5 teams to look out for to end this season off, whether it be to avoid relegation or whether it be to improve or whatever. I've done what you did last week. I've gone one team from all the big leagues just to make it exciting. Yeah. I got us kicked off with my boys. I think Man United are a team to look out for.
Okay, nice.
You said it well, I think, on the Monday pod. With no midweek action and with FA Cup away for a bit, and with Aston Villa playing midweek and Tottenham sort of slowing down, I'm so big on this club being such a momentum-based club. It still sort of feels like it's that sort of club.
Yep.
Beating Liverpool, players coming back. I feel like this could be an exciting time. Like Lisandro Martinez is back for Argentina now.
Yep.
So he'll be back. Dalot's arguably our best player of the year that hasn't started to be talked about again. You get Manu, the confidence from the England caller. Rashford scoring some goals again. I think this is a good time to be a United fan.
Yep.
And I think we could make a top 4 push. I said it on Monday. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up in 4th, and we stand by that. You got 10 games to make up 6 points, I think. So wouldn't be surprised if we end up landing there. And with the form of the other 2 teams and how tired they look, we might just be able to push through and end up in that 4th spot. So they're my first team.
I've gone with Nottingham Forest.
Oh, yes.
Purely just based on the fact that title race has just exploded wide open now. Even Burnley have a very
Burnley
faint
could be
chance,
there.
but I think they're only 5 points off Luton.
Yep.
And it's just going to be a huge watch for me, just with how are their fans going to react? How are their players in particular going to react?
Yep.
Are they going to sort of continue in the same way where they're going to just drop stupid points and not beat teams and just kind of hang around there? Or are they just going to explode a bit like kind of what Everton did in a way?
Exactly, yeah.
And I'm interested to see how Gibbs White and all their forward players just react. And some of the players that have been there a bit longer, like your Yates and these kind of players. So I think they're going to be a very interesting watch. And just that whole relegation battle is going to be fascinating.
Yeah. If we can fit in, we'll chat about that before we finish up. But now wide open with that one there. From Spain, I went Athletic Club, which links into a point I got earlier on as well. They are there. They are, and I think they're warranted. They've had great form recently. They could kick Atletico Madrid out of a Champions League spot. So as much as Atletico might make a semi or a quarter, they're in the quarters, they could make a final hypothetically. They could get knocked out of Champions League next season because Athletic Club right now are in great form. The Williams brothers on the flanks are playing well.
Very well.
It seems like Ona Simon is playing incredible and going. The game on the weekend had some massive saves. Just seems like everything's rolling for them. I think they've got like 10 points in the last 5 games and haven't been beaten much in the last sort of 2 months. They're playing great football. We sort of touched them a little bit a few weeks ago and they've continued to perform. And they're going to be exciting to watch if they can get top 4 there.
100%, yeah. I've got them as well. Defensively, they've been unreal this year. I think the second least amount of goals conceded in La Liga. I think only Madrid have conceded less, which is no surprise. In the final against Mallorca, I believe. So that's a chance at a trophy, which heavy favourites, you'd have to say. And then obviously the battle for 4th. Can they pit Madrid to that spot?
Massive.
It'd be huge. But the way they're playing, with how inconsistent Atletico look, with obviously they got Champions League football as well. I think Bilbao are in a very, very good spot. So, is there a world where they could overtake Girona?
They probably,
I think it's only 6 points.
They're in a bit of form.
Girona had dropped off a little bit because of just it's exhausting chasing Barca, Madrid. Is there a world where Girona can just fall off a cliff a little bit?
Imagine that, 3rd place for this season. Fair play. They get that.
Yeah.
But moving to France, I've got Brest as my team.
Yeah.
Second in the league, obviously no chance of winning it, but a monumental finish for them. This is another club again. I did my research in. They've been in the league now 4 years since being in League 2 and all that stuff for a little bit. I think their highest finish has been 8th ever in Ligue 1. So this is a monumental season no matter what. But it'd be great to finish on a high, finish in second. Champions League football next season. Another one of these clubs.
Are they like clear of the other?
I think they're enough away where if they can drop a few here and there, but like it's just sort of crept up, and we don't really touch on Ligue 1 much, so it's sort of crept up on us. They're a point clear of Monaco, and then 4 points clear of Lille in 4th, and 4 clear of Nice in 5th. So I thought it was a bit bigger than that, but still they should be able to hold on. I think they only got the second most loss in the league. So obviously, PSG's lost 1 game. Brest and Lille have only lost 5 games in the league, and they're the second most. So solid defensively, no standout in this team as you can expect from Brest, but it'd be a great story if they can hold on for 2nd or 3rd in the league. So they're my team 100%. To look out for.
I'll go to Ligue 1 as well. Shock, I've gone with PSG purely just based on Champions League. In Mbappe's last season, we expect. I think it is pretty much confirmed by now. Can they mount a sneaky Champions League run? No one really sort of predicts them to go far, but can they get to a final? Can they
massive?
Can they get if they get past Barca? I think be so much confidence in them to go and do it.
Yeah.
You know, can their defense? I think there's a lot of questions about that team in general. You know, is their midfield good enough to hold up?
Yeah.
Is their Emery ready for a
Big
massive step? It would be a huge ask, but you know, can that defense hold up? Can someone else from Mbappe in that forward line step up? They're going to need it. They're going to need one of, or if not two, of Ramos, Dembele, Colin Mawani, one of them or two of them. So, yeah, I think can they mount a title Champions League charge?
If they win a final, that'd be massive for them. A lot of their young players, that'd be huge for them. To Germany now. And I've gone with Leipzig again, just re-highlighting that top four battle. It's really there. I think it's a point now between them and Dortmund. Dortmund seem to have turned around. They've had a bit better form. Obviously, coincide with Champions League form as well. But I feel like Sancho's in the goals again, which always is good to see for him. They just find goals in important times. Leipzig, the younger the two teams, can they get back to Champions League again? Obviously, harshly knocked out in many regards versus Real. They're probably the better side for
very good,
large portions there. They probably deserve to go back, but can they do it over Dortmund? I cannot wait to see how that one works out, because I think we agree the league sort of tailed away. So that's the new race there in the Bundesliga.
I've gone with Dortmund. Just everything. Champions League clash is going to be huge. Can they cause? It'd be an upset for sure. Can they cause it? Can their big players in Chan, Brandt, does Marco Reus have one last push?
One last kick in him.
One last push to just produce a classic Marco Reus performance. And I think the big question for me, which is why I've teams to look out for, I've got them in here, is consistency. Can they find that level of just consistency in the league to get that top four spot over Leipzig and in the Champions League over two legs? Can they be consistent during games for 90 minutes to get past that Atletico? So I'm looking at their big players to step up. So.
Well, no surprise in Serie A, I've gone with Bologna, so it's my team to look out for.
Oh, yeah.
Just I want to make sure they can hold on to fourth, but we'll lead into my next segment. They could potentially overtake Juventus, who have fallen off a cliff.
They could, yeah.
They're gettable with them.
A couple of points.
I think they're 4 points, something like that off them now. Modest side is doing some great work. On the weekend, I'll touch on the game just after this, but it was one of those games you thought they could never score. They just, they find a way to score. They find a way to get through. Orsolini couldn't have missed any further from right in front than he did. But I'm excited to see how they go. They're my little fan club over here, so 100%. I'm excited to see how they go.
And then I went with from Serie A Roma, team right behind.
Same sort of thing,
You know, 3 points behind. Can they catch them? Can they catch Bologna? And then obviously Europa League as well.
Massive.
You know, it's going to be huge. And also, I just think for De Rossi, is this just a new manager bounce, or is this something that is sustainable and consistent? So, it's going to be a big end to the season for pretty much all the teams that we've listed.
Yeah. So. It works well because we had a few things we had to list, more segments to talk about, but we sort of covered most of them off. So I'll finish with these two things here. Starting out, obviously, in Serie A quickly. Bologna and Roma, a real chance here of toppling Juventus, who have won one game in their last 8. And they've dropped points to Frosinone, Verona, Udinese, and Empoli, who are all like bottom 6 sides. Yeah. It is alarm bells. If it wasn't alarm bells 4 weeks ago, it's alarm bells a lot now. Yeah. Bologna at the 94th minute through Fabian after they butchered the ball.
It was shocking conditions, but my God.
Till there, it was perfect. All this was, and I got to the final third, and it was just like, oh no, we don't know how to finish. And it got to the point where they were passing away shooting opportunities.
The one-on-ones and the Orsolini
don't drop this. The Orsolini one, the 91st, like in front of the goal, in the 6-yard box, left foot, and it just went almost straight up in the air. I'm like, oh my gosh. They can't do this to me.
Similar to Sterling's.
It was
got a right here.
Yeah, it's ended up just on my shoulder. But yeah, what a result for them. You know,
huge.
In terms of, again, like the Leverkusen type sides, when everything's not quite going your way, you think it might not be your day to find the result. Just
we saw the way they celebrated. They knew
massive
one of these. Yeah. But just to get that goal was massive, huge. And they know that. They're going all out for top 4.
They want that.
They want that bad, and as they should, they deserve to be where they are at the minute, the way they're playing, and it's just going to be Roma probably have that bit more experience than some of their players. So.
And then obviously, Roma, they got the 1-0 win. Again, both 1-0 wins against relegation sides in these two teams, but important wins. As I said, without Dybala, Pellegrini, then probably the next best thing stands up for them. But once again, Romelu Lukaku had 4 chances.
Oh my God.
He's allergic to goals.
That was Chelsea Lukaku. That was. But main thing is they got the win.
Yeah.
De Rossi's just working wonders. They're defending well.
Yeah.
But they were defending well under Mourinho, obviously, because of his system. So they've always had that down packed. It's just been about building that attacking side of their game, and Dybala and fair play to Roma, because I think they were 8th, 10th when Mourinho got sacked.
We said it was season over. Yeah. We said Napoli and them could be done.
Yeah, but now credit to Rossi, credit to that playing squad. They've and credit to the fans. They loved Mourinho. Yeah. But the fact they've got behind obviously bringing in a club legend along with him and De Rossi and Totti are probably up there with
the two greats.
To still back what the board have done, bringing in a manager like that is inexperienced. I don't think he's had any real.
I don't think I've never seen him managing the big clubs.
He's been unbelievable for them, and I think if you're talking about teams for next season, who's to watch? I think Roma are the ones to watch. Is it
take the step?
Is it a manager bounce? How transfer window? What are they going to do? So
there's players there to build around. Pellegrini, Dybala, I think a young forward.
Yeah.
You can find someone like the Xerxes, like the Openders, like the Hoylands, like these sort of guys that are just find them and pull them out. Even that I can't say his name, but the sporting striker, the young sporting striker,
starts with a G.
Jorkins or something like that.
I said it on Monday. I forgot
his name I can't. But someone like him, they can somehow snatch him off one of the big boys, get in there. Yeah, someone like that. I feel like they need. Juventus are 59 points, Bologna 54, Roma 51. I know it sounds ridiculous, but maybe, just maybe, could they knock
Juve are playing.
Juve out?
If they keep going the way they're going, Juve, and Bologna and Roma keep going the way they're going, it's not out of.
You got 9 games to do
easy. Juventus just at the minute. I mean, defensively they haven't changed. They still rarely concede, but going forward, Vlahovic sent off again. He's so frustrated at the moment.
Yeah.
And you can tell by his performances, and obviously his finishing of late.
Not quite being what we
But even the chances he's getting, they're not high quality. No. He's making them look decent, but they're tough finishes. And we've said it for weeks. If Vlahovic doesn't score, who else have you got? When Gatti is at the forefront of your chances, and
it's not your answer.
I don't know about you, but I don't put a lot of the blame on the manager, because you look at I know the way they're playing is poor, but if you look at the playing squad, it's actually a really average playing squad for Juventus. And I think he's just squeezed every bit of quality out of them that he could possibly get for the season. Yeah. And I just think that playing squad, I just don't think it's very good.
Yeah.
I think it's very average. I think it's, you take Vlahovic and Bremer out, and it's a top 8 Serie A squad, I think.
Which is where they probably sit, right? It's we've gone from them being a point off Inter about 2 months ago now to being third and in danger of dropping out into fourth. They are now 17 points. Yeah. Inter. 17 points.
I mean, the style of play isn't good. I'm not defending it. I'm just saying, with that playing squad, I think he's just gotten the most out of it.
Much of the Moyes thing with West Ham, he's trying to get as much as he can, which means you have to play this sort of way. Yeah. They're not superstars, but
I know Juve fans aren't happy though. So.
We'll see what happens next season if they've got what it takes to use this type of players and push them with a different type of manager.
They're going to need a big window,
They might get shocked how poor they are.
Yeah, I just think it's a very average playing squad.
And we want to end on a high note. It's been a tough day for you with Liverpool, with me with Inter. Almeria
have done it.
He's done it. Almeria have won it. Probably the easiest game they've got at Las Palmas. Oh, maybe not even. They're a mid-table sort of side, but a 1-0 win, an early goal in the 14th minute. I think it was Baptisto.
Yeah.
I will buy a Baptisto shirt. We'll hang it up here.
We should both try and find one and buy it and wear it next week.
We should buy some Almeria kits, When the Euros comes out, we're going to have some fun on this channel here, I'll tell you what. So we might
I do need to buy some football kits. I do need to buy some football kits.
As you can probably see, I'm trying to collect every single Euros kit. So we'll have Euros kits galore up here.
Don't worry, I will be buying football kits. So just
I cannot wait for the. I don't know why. I love the Euros more than World Cup sometimes. It just feels like it's players you know
of. Got the Copa America on
Copa America as well. I posted on my Instagram story as well. I got the Olympics, Copa America, Champions League final, and Euros in the space of 4 months of my birthday months.
It's not going to get boring on this midweek.
I might come in with my bucket hat on, my slides on, like every other European will be at that time. It'll be 10 degrees here and raining, but I'll come with my bucket hat on. I can't wait. But Almeria have done it. No more forfeits. We're not sitting here Champions League final night with a Liverpool shirt on for me and a Man United shirt on for you. We're safe.
It was surely coming. Like, they've been so unlucky the last couple of weeks. And their performances against big teams have been phenomenal.
They've got 7 points in the last 6 games. They've got 13 all season.
Yeah.
So since we've covered them...
They got like 8 draws, I think, for 9 draws for the season.
They've won like, what, 12 points? So they've got 9 draws.
9 draws. Was it are they on 13 points?
I think they're on 13 points.
10 draws. That is...
They are
We're
serial
talking like
bottomless.
Arsenal Invincibles with their 14 draws or whatever.
10 draws and 1 win and 18 losses.
That mental. Yeah, that's mental.
Can they get off bottom? Granada on 14.
Yeah, bloody hell. I mean, they'll obviously get relegated.
Still,
It's bottom 3, isn't it?
Yeah, bottom 3, yeah.
So, like, they're obviously gone.
What a story that
They'll
could be.
gone probably
finish
in the 12th match week. They'll probably gone. But, yeah, look, good on them for getting that win. Good on their coach. Thank God. You genuinely saved us.
He said before the video, what did he say? It's equal to like Liverpool winning a trophy.
Oh, yeah. What a joke, by the way. Like, you got like, you know, Liverpool's quad hopes ending. Like, fucking. But then Almeria win on the same weekend. It's like
split is
honestly.
It could be the best weekend ever.
It just had to happen on the same.
Yeah. That in to lose and yeah. We've had a hitter, we had a miss.
Very up and down.
Yeah. Classic players own curse. Make Barcelona good, make Almeria good.
Yeah.
Make Inter rubbish.
Their straps a little bit. So
we can't decide on here.
We can't win, to be honest.
Can't win.
But,
that's the life of the podcast, I feel like.
But, yeah.
Well,
I don't think we've had any sort of like wrong.
No howlers yet.
No howlers.
Maybe me saying into the winner was a howler, but mate,
that was valid last week. That was valid 7 days ago.
I said,
you know what I mean?
Serie A, best points ever, and win the Champions League. Now they're out of anything. It's a stinker. All right, that's the end of episode 51. We've passed the big milestone. Big week. Thank you for the support recently. We said it. This is the month of 400. We're going to call it.
Yeah, it was a good episode. So.
At least 300. Come on. Give us something. And don't wait till like next Monday to watch it. Watch it when it comes out.
Don't wait till his match week predictions come
There's no match week prediction this week. There's international
up.
break. So you better watch it before next 2 weeks' time.
Let's do international break predictions. Let's do like...
England versus Brazil. 2-2. Yeah. Actually, saying that, we've got international next week, so we're going to have a quieter week. So we'll talk a bit about the Euros, about the Copa America, about some of the friendlies, some of the selection of the squads.
Maybe we'll talk about that international sort of thing.
I want to touch on about international breaks. But we have
obviously the thing with Ben White and stuff we might touch on.
Yeah, we've run out a lot of time. Gone.
And obviously be top 10 right or left. Are we going to do right or left wingers?
I think we do right side first. We're going to do right wingers.
We'll do right wingers? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm going to make sure I got my lefts and rights better this time. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Matoma and Tulis.
Number 10, Matoma.
That being said, thank you, mate, for jumping back on again.
All good.
2 in a week from him. Please like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. 5 stars on Spotify. Share as well. Let's get us our numbers up on Spotify and Apple Podcasts better as well. And we're approaching 430 subscribers as well on YouTube, so get us there as well.
Yep.
I'll be back with some sort of video come Friday in terms of just a talking point because I'm going to have to fill in some spot without the prediction. So you'll see me then. You'll see him again next Thursday morning. Enjoy the weekend's international action. We'll see you guys next week for some more discussions and then bring on the last 10 games of the season.
Bring it on.
Until next time, guys. See you later.